Umbreon comes May 25th to Pokemon Unite, and a challenge you might be facing right now is you will want to play Umbreon, but you're not sure what will be the best items to use. Well, don't worry, because this video, guys, is going to be your solution. So I'm going to break this into two parts. I decided to make not one, but two item builds. One for those that want to run with an attacker Umbreon, and one for those that want to run with a defender Umbreon. So let's start with the attacker build. Now for those that want to go this route, I made a build that takes advantage of its attack stats over its special attack stats, since most of Umbreon's power and damage will be coming from melee attacks. So because of this, attack weight will be a very good item to use. This item increases your attack for the duration of the match every time you score a goal, and it stacks up to 6 times. Now I suggest trying to score goals early game, that way by mid to late game, you'll have your attack weight stacks up, and you'll be able to deal larger amounts of damage with each attack. This item will be best used for players that like to play with more of an aggressive style, as opposed to a passive style. But I also recommend, don't die trying to get goals, because this will just set you back, but you should have somewhat of an easy time trying to get goals since Umbreon is inherently tanky and will have some pretty good base health stats. Also, for survivability, I think running Focus Band would be a good choice even for an attacker build. So for example, you can have 2 items to increase your attack stats and 1 for health and defensive stats, and I think this wouldn't be a bad option. And since this item boosts defense and special defense stats, it will only help you last longer in team fights and therefore allow you to deal more damage over time. This item is also good since it gets you health regeneration once your health dips below a certain percentage. So yeah, guys, Focus Band will be a pretty solid choice. And the Muscle Band item will also be good as an attacker item since it increases both attack stats and also your attack speed. So you'll do more damage per second with every attack. And I can see this item pairing almost way too well if you decide to run with Mean Look, which is one of Umbreon's abilities. And if you don't know, this ability basically traps an opponent in a circle and leaves them unable to escape. So trapping them with Mean Look and then having this item equipped means you can barrage them with attacks once they are trapped. So yeah, this is going to also be a pretty good item for Umbreon in my opinion. And kind of going along with Mean Look, Razor Claw item will also make this Pokemon, in my opinion, very, very OP. For those players that don't know what this item is, this item increases your next basic attack after using a move. So I think this will definitely be a must-have item for those running an attacker build, since Mean Look seems like it will be such a difficult move to deal with, especially if you guys can trap enemies that are squishy like Eldegoss, Talonflame, Greninja, so on and so forth. And also offering you guys an alternative to this build, if you guys want to run with weakness policy as opposed to one of the others, I think that would also be a good choice. And that is just because this item increases your attack when the holder takes damage, and since, like I said before, Umbreon is inherently a defender, so that means it has high defense stats, high special defense stats, and high HP stats at the base level, so it will naturally just last longer in team fights than most other Pokemon in the game. So equipping this item will take advantage of that fact and allow you to deal more damage even if it's getting attacked by enemy Pokemon. So before we move on to the defender item build, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I always appreciate the support from you guys. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Okay, so my personal item build for this Pokemon when it comes to the attacker build isn't going to be anything too crazy, but it will be effective, so let's take a look. The first item we'll talk about is going to be Eos Cookies. Now this item, if you don't know, it automatically gives you up to 240 plus HP for the match just for equipping it. And it also gives you 200 more health each time you score a goal, up to 6 times. The reason this will be a good item for Umbreon is because this Pokemon will likely be played in lane and therefore has more opportunities to score goals and get more health. But also because if you can score 6 goals while holding this, it will make Umbreon so ridiculously tanky, guys, it will be very difficult for your enemies to kill you. So this item is easily one that I think you guys should equip for Umbreon. The next item for the defender build is one we've already talked about, but that is going to be Focus Band. And really, I put this item in this build because it will offer you more survivability. And as a defender, your main objective is to take the most damage in team fights, so your attacker allies can deal more damage and not die. And truth be told, guys, equipping this item has been good for almost all defender builds in this game that I have seen. And it's really no wonder why, because it makes any defender holding this item very tanky and even that much harder to take down. And then the last item for the defender build that I think you should equip is going to be Buddy Barrier. Now this item gives you up to 450 plus more HP just by equipping it to a Pokemon. And also it grants you and your ally nearby with the lowest health a shield each time you use your Unite move. So because this item gives you more survivability and it offers utility for you and your teammate, it's an item that I think is a must-have if you want to run a defender build Umbreon. So those 3 items are going to be very good for you if you decide to run a defender build Umbreon. That's going to be Eos Cookies, Focus Band, and then also Buddy Barrier. And if you guys want an alternative to any of those items, I think that Energy Amplifier would also be very good for you as well. So let me know what items you think are best for Umbreon in the comments below, since I'll be curious to know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching as always. Peace.